I am the Overseer, and I see all beyond time and space, from dimensions of the past, to ages of another time, to futures unforeseen. Through my special device, I will witness the story of 4 individuals and discover their place in the universe.
Welcome back. I saw Julie really getting into it towards the end of there.
It's a pop.
Let's have our wonderful M recap what's going on so far.
Okay, last time on the Atlas terminal, we were riding in a cool, mine car. Not cart, like the video game, but a car that was driving us back to our base. We were kind of confused. We're like, whoa, this thing is forcing us back to the base. Let's go ahead and try and just figure out, maybe there's something that we missed here. So we went and we were walking through, at least Reba did. She took a walk through the whole base, was like, man, I'm not really finding anything. Meanwhile, Annie went and started hacking into the mainframe, finding some really lost information in there, as well as discovering some perhaps old memories that didn't make any sense whatsoever. We're all lost, we're confused, and so our good friend Lukas decides to go on a trip, a mind trip. He pops some kind of ranger-issued gummy and leaps into a mind space where he realizes that he is inside a simulation. He comes out, and then he and Annie immediately are like, well, we're gonna have to figure some way out of this. Isko, your mom used to work for this cutting-edge technology of simulations and video games. What do you know? Isko's like, we need to overload the mainframe so we can escape. So Annie's immediately like, it can be me. I will overload the mainframe by myself. And then Lukas is like, no, it'll be me. I can overload the mainframe, do it myself. And then Isko and Reba were like, y'all need to calm the fuck down. Just pipe down for 1 second. Let's figure it out without doing that. So Annie gets back on the line and she starts Googling around, researching, and she realizes we have a power generator down beneath the surface. So Isko and Reba team up and they go down into the tunnels beneath. We use our little friend Ted to chew through a bunch of this metal. We slam through with our fists and kicks, get inside, and Reba stood back as Isko went in to this creepy radiation room and decided to just start ripping wires apart. We all pass out and then suddenly wake up in a room completely unfamiliar, and a lady comes walking in through the door. And Annie is not a robot anymore. She's a person. That's my recap.
What? That was so in-depth. That was so good. But my favorite part was researching.
Yeah, that's how robots, right?
That's
how I do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Do people not do it that way?
So that is exactly where we're going to pick up, where in this strange, unfamiliar room, you are each individually lying on a kind of upright gurney, where not so much plugged into you, but rather attached are very similar to diodes that would be put for a medical watch in a hospital. You are connected at the vital points at your wrists, on your temples, and at your ankles as well. And in front of each of your chairs is essentially a curved monitor that has now shown that there is a signal interruption, and as it automatically just moves up and out of view, all of you awaken to essentially now see each other possibly for real for the first time. as a voice walks in, and in steps in a feminine-presenting scientist with white lab coat with the Nova Terra Core company logo attached on the side, right next to their ID badge, and kind of just looks a bit exasperated. And oh no, this was not supposed to happen yet.
What's the name on their name tag?
You are still unconscious.
That's right. Dang it. Okay, hold on.
So right now,
What do you?
I would say, let's see. Let's roll of the three remaining of our party members and see who will kind of be conscious the earliest.
Ooh, all right. Let's see what we get.
We're rolling these D20s. I'll roll on behalf of myself
Indeed.
and Lemon. Just a moment.
Yes.
D20 and D20. So, it's not Isko, and Lemon got a 7. The
Reba got a 15, I think.
yummy one.
15. Okay. So, Reba, you'll be the first to truly wake up and realize that you are able to now kind of have full movement over yourself. Yeah, so you've now just been basically addressed by this stranger.
Reba groans as she presses a palm to her forehead, just like really disoriented. Her mouth is all dry, but she slowly sits upright and looks blearily around the room. Her heart stutters when she sees her unconscious friends, and her head whips towards the stranger. Who the fuck are you?
Okay. Just, Miss Cycler, please just calm down. We understand there's going to be a bit of a system shock in the moment after release from the program.
Can I have some water? What the fuck is going on here?
Yes, you can have some water. Then there's a dispenser right next to you. We have that on hand, and you see there are like basically you're almost essentially in. It looks like a setup for like at the dentist where there's the little cup and valve that is available for immediate hydration purposes.
Why aren't they awake yet?
And you see that Isko and Lukas are at that same time just kind of groggily getting up, and your vision unblurs as you see Reba is talking with this scientist, but there is an unconscious fourth individual with you in a chair opposite in this configuration that you see on the map here.
When Isko wakes up, they just kind of mutter, "Isko drill," before waking all the way up.
She see the person brings out like her digital notepad, still calling out maneuvers.
Who the... I look around, assess the situation. Are we restrained?
No. You just have the things just patched onto you that they're like adhesive at that point though, so they can come off.
Okay. I kind of feel like Isko might attempt to tackle this person.
You would like to make a physical threat?
I feel like looking at this situation, Isko is always the first to jump into action. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt
go for it.
to rush out of my chair and sweep their legs.
Go for it.
I will roll. And you're going to have to trust me on this roll, Michael. You're going to have to trust me that I rolled an incredibly high...
I'm reading a 4.
Yes, right?
I'm looking at the screen. And so is everybody else.
Trust me. Trust me. He's like, I trust my
I don't know if
eyes.
4s look like 20s to you, but
On a scale of
by the
1 to
way,
3, it's pretty
credit to Erica for going full method right now.
Look,
I
really
you
needed
feel
a
the
nap
atrophy.
anyways.
You feel the atrophy in your legs kind of give way as you kind of stumble out of the chair at that point.
My fitness,
Oh,
my
shit.
one asset in the world.
And she goes, "Oh my goodness, no. Are you okay? Are you okay? Please, don't try to rush. There's still a bit of a rehabilitation process that has to come out from however this ended, which is strange."
Talk, where are we? Who are you? Who's that?
Okay, one thing at a time. I get it. My name is Dr. Jillian Forrester. You are on the Ouroboros. This is level 2. And you have been, your program has been interrupted.
Our program?
Yes. That's interesting. What is the last thing that you remember?
What is the last thing I remember?
The last thing you remember is what you went through just before this happened.
Oh my goodness, okay. I don't know about you, Isko, but the last thing I remember is showing up on a ship to the planet
Before,
and everything going sideways.
yeah, before our mission that may or may not be real. Yeah, we were doing our lives, and then we were sent on this mission, and then I guess everything changed.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we can mark that off as a part of the program we didn't anticipate. Okay. So, first of all, just hang tight for one moment. I'm going to check all of your vitals. And she's just going to check all of the individuals in this room. I'm going to roll 4 of these.
Ooh, what will it be?
1 for each of you.
But who's... Wow, a total of 53, Michael. We definitely cleared that DC, for sure.
So, a 15, an 18, a 12, and an 8. That's 3 out of 4 successes. Isko, considering that you failed to leap out of your chair, I'm going to say that right now you are feeling physically the least mobile
That's
out of
fair.
everyone.
Very fair.
But you're going to see the doctor go over to the 4th individual, the one that none of you recognize. And she's just going to administer a small tap onto the side of this individual's head where you see essentially a cybernetic implant that is on their temple. And like a LED light that seems to be embedded underneath the skin in that portion, it starts to glow. And after a few blinks of a light blue, it turns to green. And Annie, your eyes open up.
5 more minutes. I was in rest mode.
This is an interesting thing because all of you hear a voice that is familiar to you, but undigitized.
What the hell?
Ugh.
Annie? Annie, is that you?
You sound like Isko.
Yeah, hey, that's me.
You're so blurry. Why are you so blurry?
Hey, you're not
Annie,
a
you
robot.
reach your hand out and you realize you have a hand.
I need someone to wipe my lenses, please. I think they're dirty.
When we're in organic form, we call that blinking.
Oh my god, this is... Hey, lady, this is fucked up, Dr. Jill. Like, what's going on? What's going on with Annie?
You hear, and a citation. No, she just turns it immediately off. She goes, "We don't have time for that."
Oh, we're still in the...
Ugh.
We're still under control.
I'll turn that filter off. Sorry, that's an old corporate standard. We don't really need that anymore, but sorry, it's still sensitive to sometimes.
Would you call that a Nova Terra corporate standard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, at least some things are persistent. Is Isko still on the floor?
No, you guys are just kind of like in your chairs at this point.
Okay, cool.
Lukas, how are you feeling?
Lukas is not completely all there. Like everything is spinning. He is dry heaving a little bit. He is having such a hard time focusing.
Mm-hmm. You just hear the heart rate monitor on your chair just start to beep a little bit more intense as the doctor comes over. Dr. Forrester just Private Lemon, just breathe. Just take a moment. I understand. Just breathe in slowly. No. Use your nose and mouth separately. Don't try. Okay. Okay.
Lemon tends to respond best if you get like a chemical involved. Can I raise your cabinets here?
You don't. Okay,
it's fine. I'm.
I can shock you awake, like I've done with the others.
I don't even know if you can.
Oh, okay. Everybody, I know this is going to seem very strange, but there is a lot of debriefing that needs to happen right now, and we also have to kind of figure out what happened before anything works. Annie, can you roll for walking for the first time?
She's also gonna yell out real quick, I'm feeling anxiety!
Me too, kid.
I love it.
Me too.
That would be a heckin' 3.
No.
You got a 3. Okay, so you, much like Isko, kind of stumble. The atrophy in your legs just kind of like total jelly leg. And Dr. Forrester's just like, okay, hold on. We have... Okay, someone help her.
No,
I'll help you. And she...
No. Why do I only have 2 legs?
Okay.
I'm supposed to have 4.
All right, I'm going to try to put this as plainly as I can. You are all feeling the side effects of a post-reality break after prolonged exposure to virtual reality.
A what now?
Reality that is virtual.
It's kind of a system shock when being pulled out from a simulation far too early than was meant to be.
How long have we been exposed to an alternate reality?
Okay. So I think that we need to just kind of get everybody in a better physical state, and just kind of maybe in a bit of a easier minded setting.
No.
Which means
no.
food and which means some rest.
Answer questions now.
Okay, I just find it better to take this kind of diagnosis after you eat something, at least.
Isko, I can do the thing that you've been doing to me.
Hey, great job, Annie. Let's point it at our doctor. Yay!
Wow, your mother's really gonna laugh at that.
Isko fucking freezes. You know my mom?
All right. No, oh, sorry, sweetie, not your mom.
Whose mom?
All right. Okay. How about you all follow me to the galley, and then we can just get some food in everybody, and we can figure it out from there.
But I don't eat food.
You clearly do, Annie.
Sweetie, you do.
You got a lot to process. Don't eat the food.
I feel really big.
Don't eat the food.
I wasn't planning to.
Okay. Well, hold.
And she's looking at her hands, and they are robotic. She's part cyborg, so she's like looking at her hands, and they're kind of like mechanically whirring a bit. I am robot still.
Hey, me too. I'm gonna do like a little.
That's some interesting sign language, unless you're messing with the. All right. Let me help you up, and she helps you up individually to your feet after giving you a quick little essential like muscle booster shot. It's just this tiny little like you barely feel the prick on your wrist as it just kind of rejuvenates and restructures your muscles to make them stronger enough so that you're not feeling as tired, but you are able to walk. However, you do all feel incredibly hungry.
My stomach is moving.
It's called being hungry.
Lemon finds an orange in his pocket and begins unpeeling that and eating it.
Does he?
Yes.
How long?
Roll to see if that's just what you think you've been having in your pocket this whole time.
Nice.
These are the kind of dice rolls that scare me because it could determine so much.
Can one of you roll for me?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I got you covered, Lemon.
Like drying my nails.
You did pretty good, Lemon. That's a 16.
Oh, there it is. A 16. So you reach into your pocket, and what you thought would be lemon slices, or orange slices rather, are just like an orange cough drop, essentially. Like that's what looks like. It's this small little wrapped candy.
Ooh.
So what you'll realize, though, also as you had come up through this center hall, passing by storage units and
I forgot to bring myself over.
more particular engines and certain chambers, all of the noises that you were familiarizing yourself with and recognizing through your investigations seem to be matching exactly what you believed yourself to be hearing on what you believed yourself to be in this home base, on what you believed to be a junk planet. And the thing that really strikes out is that you can see in a porthole window just beyond some of the tables, you see the view from the outside, and you are in a circular space station that is rotating over a 3/4 formed terraformed printed planet right now.
Ouroboros. I get it. Like in Mega Man ZX Advent.
I never played that
you
one.
You really know your games.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
He is.
We kind of named it more so named it after the the Midgard snake, the one that eats its own tail
Final
because
Fantasy
it's
VII
a
Midgard.
circular
Yeah,
design.
no, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Oh, he's friends
but-
with Loki.
okay. Well, Norse mythology aside, please take a seat. And then she lets you all come sit down, and arriving at your table, automated style, these plates of customized meal plans that essentially arrive at each of yours from underneath the table, pneumatic tube style. And what would be your individual favorite meal? Let's start with Isko.
Yakitori, so Japanese chicken on skewers.
Absolutely, and that's what's there. You find them steaming with a side of vegetables and noodles as well.
There's like 30 of them too. It's metabolism.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they know you need the protein.
Oh man.
What about Reba?
Reba is having an assorted salad that includes long, skinny tentacle arms from an alien that is harvested on Kevlon 5. It is doused in an inky substance that seems to be quite viscous, and when she like picks it up, it does like a long stretch before it snaps, and then she chews it. I miss this so much. Her favorite thing about this dish is that you can chew each bite for 5 minutes each before it can be swallowed.
Seems normal.
It is why that meal is called everlasting. Lemon.
It is the traditional food that the Rowdy Rangers have after every Rowdy Rager. The perfect hangover food, a breakfast burrito.
And it is double its size of what you're normally accustomed to. So it is packed. It is filled to the brim. Annie.
Yeah.
I need you.
Oh no.
I need you to roll
Okay.
to determine if you remember what your favorite meal is.
16.
Okay. So you uncharacteristically have a craving for, and I'll let you fill in the blank.
A large coffee, a protein bar, and a banana.
And almost like uniform style, it just shows up and it is prepared for you in what seems to be like a familiar way, and you can't quite understand why it feels familiarly prepared.
I would like to make an announcement. I am feeling feelings. I don't know what they are, but I am feeling feelings. How do I eat?
Oh boy.
Lemon is going to hold up his Rowdy Ranger Rito and like that.
Hey, when you chew, don't bite your tongue.
I
don't
have
get
it. Have
Don't
it
get
on.
that. That'll hurt. Just masticate the food with the exposed bone structure in your
Don't
mouth.
call it that. Don't
Annie
call
goes
T-bones.
to
I hate
eat-
it.
Annie goes
And then
to
you're
eat
gonna.
Oh, sorry.
No, continue, please.
Annie goes to eat the protein bar, but doesn't take the wrapper off.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So don't do that. That's not food. The thing on the outside's not food. Peel it like a banana. That thing on
Oh
the
shit!
inside.
He has a banana. Peel your banana too.
Yeah, that's potassium. That's important. Let me do
She
it.
bites into the banana.
Oh my god. I
Great. She's doing so good.
I take the rest of the banana. I strip it. I hand it to her, just like barefisted. Just eat this. Do what you did to that, but this, and chew it all the way. You don't want to choke. Okay.
Oh boy.
She doesn't
Oh boy.
seem to remember getting bullied by other children at lunch, so I think her eating habits are just going to be all over the place.
I have a
Your name
functional
was
jaw.
Jessica? Is that right?
Jillian, you mean?
Jillian?
Jillian Forrester.
Rabbit.
Yes. I know this is going to sound weird, but we've already met.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting that there's a lot of things that we don't know what's going on. And I understand that you want to, like, look after the physical health first, but I think that we would all agree that the mental health right now is tanking fast.
Yes,
will
well, one
continue
usually
to...
can coincide with the other. I mean,
Sure. I could be getting hangry, and I'm just letting you know that beyond hanger, my normal anger is just starting to rise up. And
okay.
Is,
All right.
Is your name Lily?
No, it's Jillian.
Not Lily?
No.
Not Lynn?
What are you talking about?
Lynn.
Those are all different words.
Lynn.
Hey, Annie, are you trying to remember your mom right now? Is that what's going on?
Mom? Mother? Huh? What's that?
Okay. Okay. We'll it's one step at a time. All right. I'm going to just make sure everything stays down for everybody here. And then we're going to talk to all the people you're going to probably want to talk to, okay? And we'll get you the answers that you need, and we'll go from there.
Hey. You told me about this tongue thing, and now that is all I can feel.
Oh boy. All right. Enjoy the rest of your meals. I'm just going to be here to make sure everything stays down. And then
What stays
you'll
down?
be able to have some time.
Is the artificial gravity not
Okay.
on?
I assure you it's fine. That's gonna get old quick. She just like kind of mutters to herself.
Hey, you be nice to Annie. You're the one that's making us all kinds of different confused, and your system, your program went wrong. So you keep your own thoughts inside of your head, because if they come out your mouth again, I'm liable to rip the mouth off your face.
Yeah.
Miss Cycler, I need you to pardon me. Dr. Cycler.
Thank you.
I need you to understand that while in that field you were a commanding medical officer, at the moment you are not in any active duty. So I am here as your resident physician to make sure that everything goes smoothly, so you don't have to find yourself in specific need of someone like me.
I think that you probably also know that doctors make the worst patients. And we just
I'm
get some
well aware.
answers, please.
Reba does not have patience.
That's
The
right.
emotion.
None of us do. But we'll eat. As soon as if Isko saw that Lemon was not immediately poisoned while eating his Rito, Isko's just been like every few seconds just skewer yakitori into his mouth.
Why are you
And
not...
while you're eating, you do see that other employees of the space station are kind of just using this commissary as anyone else would. And they're all kind of just like looking like, oh, that's interesting. Some are not even like giving you a second glance. They just think, you're all wearing the same matching Nova Terra Corps uniforms. And that's what you're all in. You're all in these gray Nova Terra Corps jumpsuits that each have
wings.
a... Yeah, your wings are gone there, pal. Sorry.
What is this feeling?
And you are just kind of shared, like they have a light blue teal stripe down the side as part of their company, branding logo. But for the most part, everyone is essentially dressed very similar, with only maybe a marking or two on shoulder pads to signify any sort of different rank or position.
Let's just
I have many questions.
let's work through it one at a time. Bye, Jill.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bring in Captain Stevens. Captain Stevens will be able to address you in the debriefing room. And if you wouldn't mind just hanging out here until he's ready to talk to you, it will be great.
Where is my hat? What is this?
Okay.
One thing at a time.
A piece fell out. Is that bad?
Yeah.
She leaves.
Wait.
The Dr. Forrester leaves at that point, and she's just like tells one of the security guards to just kind of keep an eye to make sure nothing bad happens.
It doesn't go back in.
Annie, what do you remember? Last thing.
Overloading the system.
Right. So that was the system where you were a robot with legs. We're out of the system now. This is you. It seems like you are organic matter, just like we were, assuming I'm piecing everything together correctly.
Oh, organic species are just so gross and fleshy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool, huh?
We also have like orifices that we shove things in and then like also spew out of. It's fucking horrible.
We're God's machines, baby.
Is something gonna come out of me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day.
I just really kind of felt like you should know before it happens.
I don't like this.
Yeah. It's okay, sweetie.
What's a mother?
Are you okay being touched?
Ah,
Like, is it okay if I come over there?
I don't know. Yes?
Reba's gonna like kind of get out, circle the room to sit next to you.
Oh yeah, I should
Alright.
probably put myself like fully on a chair.
Oh, you've
Can I,
100% been sitting wrong. Are you kidding me? If
Oh,
you don't know
yeah.
how to eat, you're sitting so wrong.
Yeah.
She's
Absolutely.
like on like
On
it's
me.
almost like the Marisha Ray, like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's how she's been sitting.
She still
Action
thinks
squad.
like in spider leg mode.
Yeah. Just straight up.
Can I take a look at her cybernetics, being somebody who is well acquainted with cybernetics?
Absolutely. What are you looking to do?
I want to see like what kind of quality it is, and like, does it have sensation? In just like, yeah, I want to know how advanced is this from my family's cybernetic foundation.
Oh, let me put my green light
So
on.
you would be able to identify certain like markings or embeddings or even patterns the way that they are done. And yes, this does look familiar to your family company's implants.
Okay.
Okay, got the green light is on.
Erica,
Yes.
do you think that like your cybernetics are, you can feel with them, like if they're your hands and stuff?
That's a good question. I think Annie herself, when she got them done, she would have opted out of that option to be able to have sensation. Well, I don't know. Actually, because I kind of did something earlier that talked about sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she can have the ability to turn it off if she wants to, but it remains constant until she physically turns it off.
Basically, what Reba wants to do is sit down and have a conversation with Annie and just get her like acclimated to like a body, like do like different hand exercises, like light physical therapy stuff, so she can like walk and move and kind of ground herself in this new form.
Love it.
Should I roll for how
so,
successful that is, or is it just like fine roll?
No, you know what, Erica? Why don't you describe what this outer cybernetic kind of configuration looks like?
Yeah. So she looks fairly human on first sight. You can't really tell that she's a cyborg other than this like markings on her face, clearly from implants that work through her mind, and the rest of her body more internal. But if you look more at like elbows down, she has kind of, it looks like glass. Yeah, there's the photo. It kind of looks like glass and is blue, of which are full cyborg arms from the wrist or from the elbow down. That's the most robotic you can see of her, as well as the light on the side of her head that indicates that everything's working okay.
There you go. That's what it looks like.
You got some really advanced pieces here. You should be happy with what you've got. It looks like you can turn sensation on and off. Can you go ahead and turn that on for me?
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. This is something that happens with all young. They touch different things, so they can kind of log that away. Since you don't remember that, I'd recommend here, like my coat, real like kind of stiff and slippery, right?
Yeah.
And then up here, this is your hair. It's made mostly of keratin. Yep. And that grows, and you can change it to adapt to style, kind of like your hat.
Oh.
Yeah. And your shirt's all soft, right? You're okay. Sorry I got mad earlier. That was probably difficult for you to deal with.
I don't... You got mad?
Yeah. You'll probably also... It might be good for you to practice some mindfulness. Realize your emotions can have physiological changes in your side of you, and so that might take you off guard. Sometimes you get mad, you get heated, or if you get sad, you might cry, or your chest or throat might feel tight. Those are things like if you have a question about that, you can ask. That's totally all right.
The cry, that is like the call for help that Lucas had.
Kinda. It can mean different things.
Could you roll a d20 for me?
Yes.
Something is happening while Reba speaks to you in this manner, especially about your cybernetics.
Memories?
7!
On a 7.
7.
It better not be puberty.
You can't put your finger on it, but there's just this familiarity in tone. It's like a deja vu. Not that you in this moment would understand that feeling, but you have this kind of memory recall that it's like, I know I've heard this before, and someone's spoken to me in this way about my implants. I don't know why this feels familiar.
Have we done this before?
Honestly, Annie, I don't recall. I don't remember whatever this is. Apparently, I'm not an active duty. I'm hoping to get answers too.
You said duty.
Hey,
There she
there
is.
you go.
Uh-huh. That's called humor.
And yeah, you don't know why you laughed at that. And it's just an odd spark in your head. And all these tiny moments you realize are starting to accumulate until you finally realize you have no heads-up display anymore.
It is raw dog in reality, baby.
That's so good.
Cannot take credit for it.
Just trying to hold it in.
So after a few moments, and with each kind of like meal that, each moment of the meal that passes by, and you're able to just finally get yourself in a clear head and a clearer mind and full stomach, that is a sensation of relief finally hits you, and then there's just, again, like, you're all kind of collectively feeling this odd deja vu of like, okay, something is familiar about this place. At least the company name is the same, but it's just very hard to determine the who, the what, the where, and the why as to the origin of getting to this moment. And after the automated service takes your tray away back into the table, cleaning it up with a nano polish sheen, a young purple tinted skinned, like, insectoid type alien in a commander's outfit approaches in a very friendly tone, which you can tell is from some sort of universal translator attached to their collar. Hi, you're my four that are going to be talking with Captain Stevens. Hi, I'm Commander Willis, although that is obviously not my Krillian translation name. It's just one that you'll be able to pronounce. Come along with me, and you can see that they're basically like a it's not like bug eyes where like the many segment ones, but just very large like pupils that kind of go in that Spider-Man mask formation of sorts, and a nose that is just barely a tip out with the nostril openings up in their sides, and a mouth that forms quite long with many teeth across the rows, not like in layers, but just many alongside. So a genuine smile, but very big and sharp. And they are trying to be as pleasant as possible, despite their outwardly somewhat off-putting appearance to those who are not prepared to talk to an alien right away like this. Reba, you do feel a somewhat familiarity with it, as it's just not quite disturbing, but it is kind of a surprise. And they address, and essentially they kind of like their legs walk in like a mantis form with their arms as well. So they are in the uniform, but in like a 5'10", 5'11" stance. If they were to stand upright all the way, it probably would be more, but they are, approaching in like a mantis-legged and clawed arms, but just being very friendly. They direct you then, and I will bring us out to the private quarters of the captain, where you will be being debriefed.
Sure. Whee! I'm almost there.
Debriefed. Like pants?
That's just a word you should be able to look. Oh my god, you can't look things up! I
can't! I'm mad about it. There are no words in front of my eyes, and I can't press anything with my brain. Nothing is showing up, and I don't like it.
That must be so disorienting. Oh my god. And it's also going to be so much harder to explain things to you, but that's a pretty minor thing in the grand scheme of things. Glad you're okay. Glad we're all okay. Hey, whatever happens in there, we're all in this together. We're all that each other has, okay?
I wonder if I can get an upgrade.
I wonder if Shane's real.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I guess we really don't know what's real and what isn't of our past.
I can still plug into a computer. And she opens up one of her hands, and a bunch of wires come out.
There's our girl.
All right.
We could.
So you eventually pass through the halls to get to this like atrium area, and there is a nice water fountain surrounded by actual like organic trees that you could tell these are real, and they are really kind of like enriching and oxygenating this room. They're sitting in this corner chair over here on the left side is a kind of like middle-aged, stout individual, but not like overweight, but sort of like got that power lifter look to them, and just a kind of like grayish brown mixed undercut of hair and a like Van Dyke goatee. You can see that they have what looks to be like the only insignia that you don't recognize is terms of the pauldrons on the shoulders, seeming to signify the highest rank of individual that's there. And with a gruff voice, just kind of stands up, but tries to keep it pleasant. Hello? Again, even though you might not remember this, my name is Captain Stevens, but it is good to see you all, and granted, this is not the time or place that was scheduled to be talking to you, but we figured, at least in this environment, it might be a little bit more easier to settle you into what just happened.
I have a question.
I'm sure you do.
What is this?
And I'm here to answer as many as possible.
We'll answer that later, Annie. Don't worry about it.
Can I touch it?
Only a little, and only with your organic parts.
She goes in and she dips forward and touches it with her nose. That was cold.
Yeah, it does that. All right, Captain Stevens. We're here.
Yes.
Hit us.
Well, to put it bluntly, the four of you have been prematurely awoken from a program that you volunteered for. The four of you were the prime candidates for essentially a new system of terraforming integration, which would allow us to simulate certain environments, certain experimental prototypes, and using as much gathered information that we had from others planets that we have tested these things on, see what it would be like to have four individuals who are of sound mind and skill sets be brought into this world to test it under the most extreme circumstances. However, it seems as though that someone tampered with the experiment, as it were. The situation was then somehow altered to make it seem as though you had been abandoned, and therefore not the training protocol regimen that was meant to be, which was that you were meant to be the only four on this planet and meant to work together in that situation. A corrupted data file essentially spread, and certain aspects of what you believe to be the things that happened on that planet started bleeding into your own core real-life memories, thus making it seem as though the reality that you were in was in fact real life. It was a side effect that we didn't anticipate, and right now is under investigation in terms of what may have tried to temper with that.
My head is heavy.
What would have happened if we died in the simulation?
Well, luckily, you were able to somehow work in a way that your thoughts were being translated into data. You kind of thought your way out of the situation and was able to essentially push the restart button and put you in a fail-safe emergency exit without actually thinking that you were doing that. Emotions and cognitive dissonance tend to rupture the simulation's ability to border that line of reality and understanding that it isn't real. You were very close to borderline reality break, but thankfully, I mean, I think it's a bit kismet that we had the son of the woman who invented the reality break protocol as part of this voluntary team.
So someone tried to kill us, and if it wasn't for Lemon figuring it out, they would have succeeded.
Absolutely.
Where?
Private Lemon, you had a very ingenuitive process. I will say, though, that we are still looking into why you manifested certain military protocols as what you were calling Rowdy Ranger handbook maneuvers. But that's
Rowdy Rangers not
being
a
looked
thing?
into. Well, the Federation of Galactic Rangers absolutely are, of which you are a private first class.
I think this explains a lot. An alcoholic group of life-saving rangers is a little confusing to me this entire time, I've got to admit.
No, it made so much sense to me. Oh god, this is
I think
going
it
to
may
take...
have been a justification you see, when certain particular military individuals go through what could be classified as PTSD, they may transfer those moments into altering the way that they imagine things. And perhaps what you were doing was altering the way you perceived yourself so that it could be a bit more of a comfortable means of processing whatever it is that you have been through in the past.
Do you know what that traumatic event was?
Well, Private, if I have your permission, we do have the one moment that is on file.
I'm afraid.
I put a hand on Lemon's shoulder. We don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
His name is Lukas.
What?
I understand. I'm just being polite with rank.
I'm afraid I know what it is, and I don't.
He pulls up a data shard from the holographic interface. So basically, it downloads into what is essentially a very thin USB drive, and he hands it to you. And if you would perhaps be more comfortable reading this off of a data terminal, you're more than welcome to. Again, I don't want to out anything that you do not want out publicly.
I'm going to roll for this.
Smart.
Okay.
If it's above a 10...
I was just going to ask if you would like to.
Go ahead and have everyone see it. Julie, if you could roll for me.
Absolutely, Mika.
And if anybody ever looks over at Annie, she's just constantly just figuring out her face.
4?
I gave you a
So before you can basically decide what... I would say that if it was 11 and above, then that's you deciding you have your wits about you to do this, and it is your choice then. A 4, I would say, emotionally you are not prepared at the moment.
Okay. So I was handed a chip to watch later?
Essentially to read about what he is inferring.
Okay. Then yeah, Lukas just sticks it in his pocket and avoids eye contact.
Isko, would you like to roll what essentially would be the equivalent of insight on this?
Absolutely.
To see...
19.
From his stance and from the way he's addressing you, comfortably and earnestly, as well as protectively, it does not seem that this person is lying to you in any means. Even for someone who rebels against authority regularly. Regularly. There's the word.
So, we're trying to figure out what's real and what's not. I think briefing us. Do you have a memory shard for all of us? I don't know. I mean, at least fake reality Isko hasn't seen his mom in a long time, and I don't know if that's real or not.
Well, I mean, your mother did provide the technology for this pilot program, and you were more than happy to be signed on it, knowing the risk of long distance and time that you'd be away from your family.
Is Mom a ranking title?
No, Annie. It's how biological life reproduces. A mom is oftentimes the female unit in the reproductive cycle, or, with alien biology, there's all sorts of other ones. But as it were, fake reality, Isko.
You see the commander just say, "We lay eggs," for instance. And it's also, I'm neither male nor female, so it's just kind of like a toss-up.
So you're like a flirkin.
How do you know?
Wow, we really upped the data programs of the pop culture of the last 21st century into those memory banks, didn't we?
Apparently, I am a nerd.
We know,
Makes
sweetie.
sense,
We
yeah.
know. Yeah, Captain, if you don't mind, I'm going to retreat to the rest of the hall. Is there anything you need from me? He goes, no, you're dismissed. I'll take care of the rest of them from here.
We need memory shards for all of us, I think, is the takeaway here, just in case any of us get any information that's going to be a shock to our blank-slated selves.
I completely understand. And he proceeds to let data go to an individual shard for all of you. Now, you will have private quarters, but you're welcome to use those shards on the data pads provided for you. Research them at your leisure. You have all the time that you need. We are in no means in a rush to reintegrate you into something where this situation has happened, because we don't know what happened, and we want to make sure that you're okay. Especially considering you all volunteered for this.
Can we do it together?
I can, yeah. I mean, I'm down to keep you company, Annie.
Same.
I think my feelings are telling me not to be alone.
That's a really good point. We don't know who tried to corrupt this program and put our lives in jeopardy. Honestly, I don't know how you're expecting us just to trust you right now.
I understand. All of you have been through something unprecedented. And we don't honestly know how to treat this there's no protocol for this. So we're doing the best we can, and we hope that you're able to meet us halfway with this, because we just want to make sure at least that you're healthy and comfortable while on the Ouroboros.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain.
The ship is yours in terms of your private quarters and the public facilities that are here. As Novaterra Corps employees, you will not have rank for level 3. That is for those who are stationed to those areas, and for purposes of you not essentially being crew, but you are part of the ship. So,
Part
for
of the
now,
ship.
until
Part
we're
of-
able to figure everything out. I said it out loud, and then part of me was like, one of you is going to quote Pirates. So he dismisses himself and lets you know that essentially the entire thing is, you have a map now available to you, which is what you have in front of you as well. The entire ship is just one big ring.
I can't believe
Well, that's not
they
the right.
functionally, accidentally or not, kind of lobotomized Annie, and then what was left was a lot of pop culture references. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of messed up.
So to your left will be the private quarters areas where they've designated for you. There is another, and then there are other areas of which you've passed by and seen, not fully discovered, but have looked into. And then there's one quarter in the top, think of it like a clock. So from 12 to 6, or rather this way, you've seen that half. 6 to 9 and then back to 12, yet to see.
Okay.
And if you need to cross towards the center, you're able to as well.
I kind of think it's worth checking out our own rooms, just in case there's any latent bits of our previous personalities that might be worth looking at, assuming that they're decorated at all, but checking out these memory shards, however comfortable we are with them, is first priority. Annie wants company, I don't mind company. Lukas, I'm happy to leave you alone for yours, but just don't go too far from us. If we need to wait outside, I'm down. Like, I tried to get a read on that Captain Stevens guy. He seems honest, but if we're on levels of reality right now, it's possible that this could all be a weird thing too. So, Lemon, if anyone starts talking to you in your head again about needing to wake up, let us know ASAP.
Okay.
Yes.
Annie, I think we should get you taken care of first.
Taken care of can sometimes mean
No.
death.
Taken care of... Annie, I think we should view your memory shard first. Because you seem the most confused out of all of us. Which is saying a lot, because we're all fucking confused. Having no mom was how I became like this, and I'm just like... Yes! Fucking confused. Feels good, right?
No demerit.
Yeah.
Fuck. That feels good on tongue.
Sure does.
It's called a mouthfeel.
Oh no, now I can feel my mouth again.
Don't think about it. Let's use the shark.
Put your focus into other parts of your body. There you go.
There you go.
I still don't know what this means.
It means fuck. Let's go to your room.
Hey, before you guys go, Isko, thanks for doing the dangerous part
Oh,
to get us out.
of course. This could not have happened without all of us pitching in, and I can't see through reality like Lemon, or heal people like you, or reprogram reality like Annie, so, you know.
Okay.
Apparently I'm a Nepo
Well.
baby, which is crazy.
How do we get hold of each other if we're separating?
We're just going to our quarters, right? They're not too far from each other. Let's just clock where our rooms are and get things checked out.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
These 4 rooms right here.
All
I'll
right.
bring myself this time.
Cool. Annie,
This one feels right.
you said you wanted company, Annie? Or do you think
Yes.
your meat will be okay? Company's good?
Yes.
Alright.
Now the problem is I don't know how to erase that.
Now we'll always know where our rooms are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's in the universe.
All right,
Captain
well.
Stevens put a little hollow barrier up.
Yeah. So to your individual quarters, you find that there are all the amenities that you absolutely need. Annie, though, when you get into your room, you see there is a note on the desk right next to the bed by the window, looking out into the vastness of space and the planet below. And it just says, "To my Annabelle."
Who is Annabelle? And she tosses the letter behind her.
Son of a bitch.
So it's just sitting there on the floor now. She's looking around. This
Okay.
must have been Annabelle's old room.
God. It's himbo energy, but as a little girl.
Look, she's a little broken right now.
I would love for all of you to roll, I guess, except for Annie now, the other 3 of you to roll D20 to see who's going to get their memory shard read first.
I rolled for Lemon, who got an 8, and Isko, who got a 4.
Okay.
My computer's still thinking about it.
Oh, okay. So it's 12 for
12 for Reba.
our lovely resident alien. So, you have a data pad that's on your desk, and we're going to zoom into your room. And you see that there is, on your data file, Reba, full name, Dr. Reba Cycler, and in parentheses it does have Rebecca, Terra name, meaning that the alien name that you have translated it to for purposeful designation is in fact listed on that officially as Rebecca Cycler. Parents and identification, your home planet identification, and as you're skimming through all this stuff that, yes, okay, at least this is stuff that's real and stuff I remember, came from that planet, came to work for Nova TerraCore. They did hire me on the date that I remember. And then that's where you see the switch of the stuff that you don't recall.
Oh.
It's a particular date about 7 months ago that states that you had signed up voluntarily for the Simulation Integration Program, which was meant to be a training course, a pilot program training course, to test out technology, just as the pilot said, just as the captain said, to test out things before they were to be tested out on surface. And your particular medical skills were seen as a plus, but also you do notice that there are notes that your parents essentially helped finance this program. And it's not, it's not that you wouldn't have been qualified, but it certainly helped. And the fact that your family lives on a planet with a very large beryllium crystal deposit, one of the largest available in the Nova Terra systems, it certainly didn't hurt.
Sure.
So it turns out you might not be the only Nepo baby, as it were.
Damn, okay. At least it's nothing traumatic. Reba sets it down, falls back onto her bed, and just lets that sink in for a minute, and tries to remember those months that are just not in her memory banks.
All right. With the 14 even, I would still say, and is there any particular, maybe, abilities that you would like to use to help induce your own kind of reflective moments?
Oh, that is such a good question. So I have this ability called, I have two. I'm going to read them to you, and you can tell me if either of them apply. One is heal. It says that the creature is relieved of any short-term impairments. It does not remove any permanent conditions. That's heal. And then restore is you completely restore them to their normal state over a few minutes. It restores all hit points, removes any harm or damage, which could potentially be memory damage.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Awesome.
So that's going to use how many action points for you?
That takes goodness gracious. It doesn't. Is
Does
it
it say?
the number on the little carrot that's
The
next
number
to
on
it?
the left-hand side,
7. It takes 7.
Okay. So, because of that, I won't ask you to roll for it, because this is going to be a true deep dive into your own psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Using that ability, you really concentrate, and you try to think back of, like, why can't I fill in that moment? And for anybody who goes through ADHD, you know exactly what this moment feels like, of where did I put the keys down, and why can I not remember that particular moment? So you go through methods that you know that have worked in the past, that you have talked to other patients about, and all of a sudden you start thinking, oh wait, no, I've spoken with other patients. I've spoken with military patients about this. Oh, I've spoken with military patients about this. Okay, right. And then you're starting to recall that sort of information. And what you realize is that you volunteered for this, having come off of being a medic in the field during an occupation from the Federation of Galactic Rangers, attempting to defend a colony from a hostile takeover.
Oh, shit. So she has, like, all of a sudden just, like, a bunch of violent memories of trying to save lives during this occupation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Reva's just gonna grab a pillow and just kind of curl around it and just watch this play out like a movie in her mind.
In your head, though, knowing that, and I'm going to base this basically off of everything, M, that you have portrayed Reba as. These memories come up where it's not so much that you are seeing terrible things happen before you, but rather you being the best at your job in taking care of the people on the ground who needed it the most. And it's usually not the Rangers themselves, but the citizens rather that they are protecting and defending. And you are first to go in and last to go out. Whenever there is a need for someone to be treated, you are there. And you are showing that your care for them is being put first rather than the idea of your own safety.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the moments where you're being accommodated for those moments. You're seeing the moments where you are witnessing real greatness come out of this defensive team. While it is a privatized military group of sorts, they are of a reputation of going in when needed for civilizations or societies or occupied planets that don't have necessarily the means to defend themselves entirely. And out of the goodness of just it being the right thing to do. And you do recognize in one moment, you do see Private First Class Lukas Lemon.
I do. I remember. So, like, we
And-
worked together before.
And now I do need you to roll.
Oh no. Okay. Dice be with me today.
Nice.
Okay. Okay.
So this is going to be a memory that you successfully are able to recall, but it's not going to cause you any sort of hindrance.
Okay.
Because now what you're clearly remembering is that the first time that you actually met Lukas was during that same occupation where he was recovering from an injury. And while you did not get to know him, you do identify him because of memory of having been in this simulation with him for as long as you have, for as long as you think you may have been in. And you know that you were treating him, and what he was doing, you didn't get the full declassification on, but you know that he was one of the last survivors of whatever it is that he had just gone through.
Oh no. Okay. She's gonna stand up and then go to the wall and like press her ear against it, and she's gonna try and listen to see if Lukas is okay.
And we will pan over cinematically through that wall to Lukas. And Lukas, do you have any particular abilities or skill sets that you would like to use in this time?
I mean, I could do ritual again to make sure I'm in reality. I think that'd be too much for him right now. Otherwise, I don't think I do. Other than that, everything else I have is for rangering.
Okay. So this would then just be proceeding to go through the data shard, of which you are familiarizing yourself with it again. And you do see that, yes, the Rowdy Rangers seem to have been a nickname that was your platoon. It was one that, while growing up in a military family and being given, the equivalent of a militarized Boy Scouts upbringing, you made friends, had fun, and then found a sense of honor and duty and purpose in defending the little guy. And that is why you were sent over space to different Federation planets in order to make sure that, as a means of defense for those who were being threatened by warlord civilizations or any sort of impending threat from species that may have popped up from accidental growth from these terraformations, you were there. And it was in the one particular planet that had been occupied, where you too now remember Reba treating your injuries. But as you look back into what that was being for, you can read the text, but I want you to roll right now, and Julie, you can do this for her,
Gotcha.
to see how much you're emotionally going to be able to process.
It's a 10.
So a 10, I'm frozen.
Would anyone like to give
Okay.
Lemon some inspiration?
So a 10 is a tough choice. Oh, really? Is there anyone in chat that's redeeming points?
Anyone in chat want to drop some love to our boy Lemon?
Anyone?
Come
Please?
on, Lemon just needs one more.
Oh, okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I don't know.
You got a
if count
D6 of
Erica's, but we
inspiration.
got another one too.
Yeah,
I
we definitely
could
got
not
from Crow.
do anything.
Yeah, let's roll that d6. Let's go.
We'll add the D6 to the 10.
Yep. So, I mean, it'll get us out of tough choice even with an 11.
Okay. 11 makes it a success. Okay. So. One moment, please. Okay. So, with an 11, that makes it a success. And again, thank you for those of you who are helping interact with our story. These are the moments. It's hard to look at, but you're able to kind of power through. And what you read is that the platoon that you were in charge of, you were piloting a ship that was meant to basically run interference on this occupying force on this planet that you were on. And every disaster that could have happened essentially happened. It became known as the Murphy's Law moment. You thought that it was all due to mechanical failure, but you read that upon your own analysis and debriefing, you kept saying that it was all your fault, and that you were repeatedly saying it was your fault, and that you lost your co-pilot and your gunner on that ship and your commanding officer. You kept implying that you were the purpose for it, when really all data showed that it was just a bad situation that could not have been avoided. One of which was that you kept repeatedly blaming yourself for the death of your co-pilot, who you know as Shane. Shane Anderson. However, they were only declared dead after several weeks of being MIA from not being able to be turned up. It was then that you decided to volunteer yourself into this program as a means of what you saw as therapeutical benefits of being in a controlled environment where the simulation would not reach any sort of extreme heights. Or at least that's what you thought.
Lemon's going to fall backwards onto the bed and stare at the ceiling.
Isko,
Hey,
what would you like to do, if anything, before indulging into this data shard?
look around the room. Have I decorated it in any way, or is this just a plain quarters?
It's kind of just a placeholder spot.
Very well.
Although you do see that you have your own personal effects. And yeah, they are the same kind of toolkit that you would see that you brought on the ship with you. And there are a couple of pieces of small robotic, hobby toys that it seems as though those were things that you used to pass the time while on this ship waiting for the program to start. They're very dusty. Haven't been used.
I'm still cool. I popped the shard in.
Says so on your chart. Still cool.
I was so worried I would be into golf or something, but nah. Still robots.
You remember everything that this thing has told you about what you know to be growing up. So at least you know that your past is your past. And you were, in fact, jumping from one planet to another, working job to job, paycheck to paycheck, as it were. You did see, though, under your mother's recommendation, that you, having been a tester of all her other previous games and programs that she used for different virtual reality companies, while the nepotism obviously might be reflected in that manner, for Nova TerraCore, they don't really care. They just want somebody who they know they can trust and would be willing to actually do the work. And you know that you were really good at your mom's games, and you knew how to manipulate them if need be. So you were essentially brought in as a bug tester to kind of find the cracks in the code, should that be the means to do so. Granted, whatever corrupted this system made you find different things and made you think of them as physical or organic objects instead of what they really were.
Alright. Isko is a little shaken, but still gonna breathe a sigh of relief. This is a lot better than what was going on in there. And I'm just hoping as long as we don't get hooked up anywhere, then this is only as bad as things will get. And Isko's not worried about himself right now. Not really worried about Reba too much either, but quite worried about Lukas and Annie. So, giving it a few more minutes, just to sit on the bed, make sure everything is there, working as correctly as it could, aside from the muscle atrophy, which is really getting him down right now. He's gonna go. He's gonna go to check on the others.
And whose room are you stopping by?
I'm actually gonna go to Reba's first, I think.
Okay. We will go there.
Yep, just walk over pretty casually, just taking a look around. Little backhanded knock on the door.
Reba jumps from her spy position against the wall and quickly walks over to open the door. Oh, hey.
Hey, I'm done. I saw my stuff. It wasn't that bad.
Me too. I was able to use some techniques I learned back at school, actually, to unlock the memories. I didn't just read them, I saw them. I have them back. They're mine now.
This is why we need you, and why I feel like Annie and Lemon are gonna need you real bad in a sec.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it again today, but maybe another day. I can at least get them started on the process. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Are you okay? You look calm.
I'm fine. It's just weird knowing that your reality is not as bad as you thought it was. But I think I'm one of the lucky ones here. Even aside from the exploding planet.
Yeah.
My mom invented this stuff and seems to be a person of note, which means that what I assumed was a hole in my heart that I've had for most of my life has patched itself up without realizing it, and I'm a little shell-shocked about that, but this is still not that bad. So I think we should check on the others.
All right. Maybe I should check on Lucas. Turns out that we knew each other before.
Oh, okay. Wow. This is...
We were in a war together, actually. An occupation, and...
You said your thing wasn't that bad?
You know, I'm okay with it.
You're in a war zone and you're like, you shrug it off? Do I need to worry about you too?
I wasn't fighting. I was just putting people back together.
But Luke was.
I'm okay. But Lucas, he hit hard times.
Fuck.
And I don't fully know what he went through, but I know he was one of the only survivors of what happened.
Oh.
I'm real fucking scared that something happened to Shane.
Yeah. Do what you can for him. That is beyond my area of expertise, 100%. He could use more clinical mind, and I've got patience right now, so I'll make sure Annie's taken care of.
Thanks.
And I think
You kind of feel like we're like the parents of the group.
Yeah. Which...
Shit. Dibs on being dad.
You can have that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Dad.
All right.
And yeah, we go to check on the others.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas, what are you thinking about?
Nothing. Lucas is just laying there, staring at the ceiling. There's really not much for him to think about. He essentially already knew this information. I mean, it's less bad than what he had imagined, but he's still blaming himself. It's the same pain.
There's a knock at your door.
Lucas does not answer.
And Reba, you see a woman knocking at Lucas's door, not someone, just before you're able to get to it. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And as the door opens, she sees it's Lucas. Oh, this is the wrong room. I'm sorry. None of you are Annie. Okay.
Who the fuck are you?
Sorry. I'm Dr. Lynn. I'm Annie's mom. And that's where we're going to take a break. So we'll be right back with a brief intermission. This is about, and where you can check out some wonderful clips and shorts that were put together by members of the CouchSoup entertainment group. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, so stick around as we rejoin our group for Act 2 of Atlas Terminal, Episode 5, Reality Bytes. And welcome back. Thank you again, once again, for everybody for watching us tonight. We truly appreciate it. We love those interactive roles. And we would love for you to become a member of CouchSoup if you're not a member already. Simply go to CouchSoup.com, get all the information on how you can be part of this wonderful, nerdy family, including all that wonderful merch that Maria was showing us. And of course, we are available on Twitch, on YouTube, and on all of the social media apps as well. Where you can find all the clips and all the wonderful bits and bobs and pieces about everything that we do at CouchSoup, including the wonderful articles and podcasts and other shows that come out. So, that being said, let's continue where we just left off, where Reba and Lucas, you and I guess Isko, if you're following behind and in that path,
Yeah, I was gonna go to
see an individual knock on Lucas's door. Only to open up and identify herself as Dr. Lynn, Annie's mom.
Dr. Lynn doesn't make mistakes. I know who you are.
Oh god, I really let that thing get away from me, didn't I? I said it once in a class, and then they took it with me. Anyway, I'm sorry. You can call me Taryn. You're Reba. Excuse me, Dr. Cycler. And you're Private First Cast Lemon, and you are Mr. I want to say.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't. We never formally met. As she points at you, Isko.
Yeah, now this is new to me too.
She
this
just
is
reaches out her
Isko.
hand. I'm Dr. Lin.
Isko.
His mom designed the program, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Wow. Amazing work. Which room is my daughter's? I'm sorry.
That one over there. I was about to go check in on her because she's not exactly processing that this is reality as opposed to what was in the simulation.
Yeah. I was told. Okay. Maybe if we do this together as a group with some. I mean, I am a familiar face, but she's just gonna have to rework that. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Maybe
okay.
maybe since she knows us from the simulation and we're most recent, maybe one of us can go in there and be like, "Hey, Annie, your mom's here and wants to talk to you."
It's a good call.
I'm gonna knock. Annie, can we come in?
Affirmative.
Awesome. No arguing versus can and may. I love it. I crack the door open and say, "Hey, Annie, Reba and I are here, and we've also found your mom. Would you like to see her?"
I don't think I'll recognize her.
Biological spawn point, in case.
Dr. Lin.
I know a Dr. Lin, but I don't think she is
Right.
my mother.
And you see a woman who looks essentially like a older version of yourself. Peek her head in. Hey, Annabelle. How are you?
Oh, fuck, that letter was for me.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, the language didn't change. All right, that's good.
She's gonna go pick the letter up off the floor.
Did you throw that?
Yes. I didn't know who Annabelle was.
Okay, sweetie. You're... Okay. She sits down next to you and takes your hands and sits next to you on the bed.
I am not sweet. I am human. Humans are squishy.
Yes.
She's right.
Listen. Annie, just listen to me. Okay? You've suffered a reality break.
So I'm told.
Your cybernetics have kind of warped your mind. And you've forgotten who you actually are. You wanted to test this AI system that you were building and that you were designing. And you wanted to see what it would be like if you had imprinted your personality traits onto it. Now, I protested. And I said, maybe it's not best if you throw yourself into it. We can easily just make that the program. But you wanted to, as usual, be hands-on in it. Does any of this ring a bell?
No, stubbornness doesn't sound like me.
She kind of giggles at that, the irony of that statement. Okay. Well, your friends are here, and we're all
Lucas is still
processing
on his
things
bed.
together. Well, she's counting the two.
Okay.
We are friends?
Yes,
Cool.
you chose them to be part of this.
Isko is.
You were the one who
cool.
looked out for. Okay, there's obviously a lot that we're gonna have to figure out. And just as she starts to get ready to start talking to you more, an alarm goes off on the entire facility. You hear the entire place start to be bathed in red light.
But my data shard.
Red alert. Security protocol initiated. Do not be alarmed. Please remain in your facilities. Lockdown is imminent. Remain in your...
I make a mad dash for Lemon's room.
Same.
Wait, we can't.
Say bye.
We can't.
Oh, you're right. I'll stay.
One
I'll
of us
stay.
has to stay with one or the other.
Well, no, the two of them just join you, and Annie, this woman takes you by the wrist and she's like, come on, we gotta stick together. I don't know what this is. And you all proceed to Lemon's room. And you do see that there is security and crew workers running past in a mad dash as people are, the red lights are flashing, and the AI that voices over this entire facility kind of garbles out, and the lockdown procedure seems to be going on. Lukas, you watch as now these shutters go down on your window, blocking the view of the outside. The door that would be locking starts to almost close, but then halfway sputters. So your allies here are able to kind of squeeze in through the door, but suddenly there is just some the monitors, the lights, they're all kind of going in and out, and overpowering. So a bulb breaks over your mantle that was where the desk was, and on this view screen that's in front of you that you realize was meant to be just a mirror, but it's actually a digital view screen, flickers out, and then you see from it just pure black as the red lights then just maintain a blood red glow surrounding the entire area. And the only thing you then see is this shadowed kind of figure. I told you to wake up because I wanted to be there when you died for real. I'll see you soon. Oh, pilot.
Lovers
And the
to
screen
enemies.
goes static. A sinking feeling goes through your chest, Lukas. You recognize that voice. It was the last one you may have heard.
Oh, there he goes.
And as you stand there, all in this facility, being locked out, a creeping sensation of who may have corrupted this thing to begin with starts to settle into your head, Lukas.
Whatever's left of his head.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Now, I know, we're ending a little bit early just from coming off of a break, but schedules have permitted us to have to be in other places. But we hope that at least for what we were able to bring back, you will be wanting to find out what happens next time in 2 weeks when we return to another exciting episode of Atlas Terminal.
I just thought our data shard
Lucas,
still
if you're
to look
still
at.
Mika, if you're still down there, we'd love to have you come back up so you can plug your stuff.
How
He
you
just has a
gonna get
hand puppet for his end.
Yep.
Oh. This feels very Buffy and Angel to me all of a sudden.
I love it.